Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. We went diving this past weekend and we caught some nice fish. Holly got her first couple groupers and a few lionfish, and tonight we are gonna fillet them up and cook them for you guys. So we will be doing our catch, clean, and cook video for you. We had somewhat poor conditions. The visibility wasn't too great, so it might be tough to see in a bit of the videos, but we'll try to edit it out and make it look better for you. But we will see you underwater.
Alright, welcome underwater. So Dean told me there was a lionfish from the surface, so I figured I would shoot this one since they are relatively easy to get. So it was under this rock here. You can kind of see its fins splayed out. Before I shot, I wanted to make sure there was nothing nearby. And then aim for the open water so I don't damage the shaft. Bingo. This is what we call stringing them, which means that the fish travels all the way up the string instead of the shaft. As you can see here, strung.
Here we are on the back side of the patch. There was a school of mutton snappers, and I had one on my gun already. Was breathing up, heading down on this gag grouper that I had saw earlier. Trying to go down nice and slow, not to spook them. Was kind of looking around because there was a lot of fish here on the back side of this patch. As you can see, the gag grouper peels off, gives me a nice broadside shot. And I hit him in the cheek. Pulling up, he kind of goes crazy. Not too many predators around, so I let him dangle.
Alright, so I spotted another gag grouper. Dean kind of helped distract it a bit with the sand there. I was kind of looking over at him. And I made a pretty fast shot. This was my first grouper that I ever shot. Very exciting. We both got gag groupers today. Dean's super proud of me, as always. Here we are just checking out some of the cool patterns. This grouper here has a really cool fin tip with all the blues. So that was pretty neat. And we saw a turtle friend swim by. He got a little spooked though. And another lionfish. My ears were kind of hurting, so I kind of had to shoot from far away with this one, but nonetheless, still got it. This one was not a stringer, or a strung one. Kind of had to shoot into the ground. But he was big. So switching gears to a different site, Dean found a red grouper hiding out on this rock here. So I kind of had to line it up as best I could. Took my shot and I hit it. And the shaft did get pretty stuck in here, so Dean helped me out to fish the fish out. So these shots can kind of be a hit or miss, because if you miss, the fish usually gets spooked and will swim away. But luckily I got it, and we didn't really get a video of us getting it out, but in this next clip you'll see us filleting them.
So here's Holly's red grouper that she got. And she also got this gag grouper here. A couple lionfish, but Holly and her friend at Moat Marine used the lionfish for dissections for school children. So, all you really need for this is a table to cut on, or a cooler, a really sharp knife, and something to put the fillets in.
What knife do you use?
I use a Victorinox 6-inch boning knife. The only knife you'll ever need. So I like to start on the left side of the fish. And you make the first incision almost where their ear would be. Right behind here. And you go all the way down to the belly. Separating that head from the fillet. Flip them around. Take your knife in. Flip it. This is the big one right here. Just a little turn of your knife. And you trace down the whole fillet. And then once you get past these two fins, punch through to the other side and just saw right through to the tail. Then you come back up to the top. Follow the spine. You want to make sure that you get as close to the spine as possible, not to waste any meat. And then I like to do it from the back here, more so midway. Make sure that you're all the way to the spine. As you can see, the spine's right here. And here are all the bones. And then you go and you hop the spine and angle your knife down and kind of slice right through there. You want to be behind the rib cage, and then you go all the way back up to it there. See how it's all cleared back here? And then you come up here. I like to start from back and work forward on this side. And you break through those pin bones. And once you're broken through, then you can go down and you can get the whole belly. And that is your fillet right there. Sort of same thing. I like to start midway on this and then work up. Almost, if a fish had an ear, you're going right behind its ear. Doing the little flip there, tracing the spine again, punching through down there at the tail, filleting back up the body, and then jumping that spine there, getting over the spine, coming back up here to those bones, and you working your way up, going through those pin bones, and just straight down. Caught a bone in there. And that's the other fillet. If it was stone crab season, we would be using the whole carcass in our stone crab trap. But stone crab season's over, so we do the fillet and release. Alright, so now I'm going to clean up the fillet a little bit here. Take off that fin. I'm probably going to take off a piece of the belly here. It's kind of where the guts sit, and you don't really want that. And then we're going to skin it. So I start down at the tail. Grab maybe an inch. You're going to hold down with your fingers real hard. Cut down to the skin. You'll kind of feel the different texture change. You'll feel the fleshy part, and then it kind of gets almost a little rubbery on the skin. You're going to turn your knife flat, and this is why I use the boning knife. It has a nice flex to it. And you kind of just saw up the whole fillet. See there, not really missing any meat. Continue to saw. And that's our first fillet. There's the skin. And then I like to fillet, because this is how I was taught. you do on the back side, you can feel the pin bones on this back side and where they stop. So the pin bones, they kind of run at an angle and they kind of curve. So you're going to come in with your knife angled away from you, and then you kind of cut back almost toward yourself. You're making a little C curve on it. And then this one, you just come straight back towards you. That little C curve, and that's all the bones out of the fillet. And it's ready to eat. I'm going to trim out this shot.
Why do you want to trim out where it was shot?
It's just all the water, the fresh water or the salt water kind of gets to it, and then that fish is sitting in a brine, so a lot of nastiness can get into it. So I trim that out, and now I'm going to portion it out for us. There you have whatever you want to do with it. Nice, good gag grouper meat into the bowl. On the red grouper, it has the same setup as any other fish. All the bones are the exact same. Come in here, right behind this gill plate, cut towards the head so you can get all the meat that is up under that head. Then you come up to the top of the fillet, to the top of its head, flip your knife just a little. Flip of the knife, trace the whole backbone, punch through right there, right before the tail. Then you're going to trace the backbone. You want your knife to be as close to the backbone as possible, not to waste any meat. Then you get to the spine here, and you kind of guesstimate about where the rib cage is, and you jump over there. You want to take an angle up, and then you angle back down over that spine. You can come through, and I like to punch through about where the not sure the scientific term. Yeah, you punch through where the hole is, and then you trace back. Then you come up here, free it up from the head, the fillet from the head, and break through the pin bones here. Once you've broken through the pin bones, then you are able to follow down the stomach and follow the bones down. And that is your fillet. Here on the other side, same sort of steps. It's just the other side. The fish is facing a different way. Trace up behind that gill plate. Keep your knife angled in towards the head. Then you do a little flip there. Trace that spine down. Punch through right at the tail. Then take your knife and you get a little flex in it. Follow it all the way up that spine. Trying to get as much meat as possible off the skeleton. Punch through, jump over that spine there. And take your knife down at the end of the anal fin. Trace down through the anal fin. Come up, break through those pin bones to free up the fillet. And follow it back down on the stomach. And there you have two beautiful red grouper fillets. And the red grouper will return to the ocean to feed someone else. Here I had grabbed one of the Red Grouper's rib bones. So what I like to do, I bring the knife right under it, and the rib bone will typically still be attached to the pin bone. So you got to come up, break the rib bone off the pin bone, and then I kind of lift it and pull it away as I shave down it. And that is how you get your rib bones off of your fillet. Uh-oh. Holly's favorite. It's just arrived. Might. Skin it. You're gonna start down here at the tail, get through the flesh, go down to the skin, and saw. Make sure you get that flex in your knife. And for this, for filleting fish, I like to put my fish in a brine. It allows them to get really cold and allows them to stiffen up, and it makes it a lot easier. The meat kind of almost gets to near freezing temperatures, so it's real stiff and very easy to work with rather than a floppy fish. The floppy fish are really slimy, and it's just hard to keep them still. So you want to get your fish as cold as possible to fillet them. And there is our Red Grouper fillet. If you're trying to preserve your fish whole, I would suggest gutting them. There's some little pilchards down there. Suggest gutting them. It'll make them last for about 3 days before you need to fillet them. Same steps here as on the other side. Keep your knife bent and as close to the skin as possible. And then you get your other fillet. As you can see, I miss very little meat when you do that.
Look at all these parrotfish.
Look at all the little pilchards. We'll keep feeding them. Get the pilchards nice and big. As long as they don't leave. What are the mangroves doing? There's some pin bones that you got to take out, just like in the other grouper. Let it go back. Feeding the fish. Trim it up, make it look pretty. And that is a beautiful Red Grouper fillet there. So we're going to take this back and we're going to make some blackened fish sandwiches with it. We will see you in the kitchen. So we only try to feed me and Holly, but we have a lot of leftover meat. So we're going to be giving a lot of this away to friends and family. This is the best gift that you can give friends and family, is some fresh seafood.
So we're making grouper sandwiches right now. One of my favorites. This is one of the first meals that Dean actually made for me, but with permit. And right now we're sauteing some red bell pepper and some yellow onion. It's going to go in the sandwich, and then we have our bread like butterflied open with some oil. And then we'll cook the grouper and show you how we do that.
So first, I like to wash my fillet. Get all the scales off of it and fish slime and impurities or whatever. And then bring it to your cutting board and trim off all the excess stuff. And here's a good tip. If you don't want to replace your trash bag right away, if you got a fresh one, put it in the Ziploc that you had your fish in so they won't stink. Here I'm going to take out the bloodline. This bloodline tastes pretty fishy. Bloodline's removed. Put it in the bag. Come to this side. Feel for any leftover bone fragments. Feels like there's a little bit. Take those out. See, there's a little bit of scales on there, so always run through your fillets again before you throw it on. And now I'm going to somewhat portion it. This will probably make about a sandwich. Then we'll cut that. And those will be about 2 sandwiches as well. So we got 3 sandwiches there. I will then pat the fish dry with paper towels. Remove them from the paper towels once they're all patted dry. Get all that water off of them. Water and oil does not mix, especially when the oil's hot. And then we use our blackening seasoning. I like to use Redfish Magic. Oh, yeah. Blackened Redfish Magic. And you're going to season generously on each side. Blackening is pretty spicy. I enjoy the spice. A lot of people don't. So I season it pretty heavily. Pat it in. Good coating. Flip it. Season the other side. Pat it in.
You pat it.
Excellent. Picking up all the excess. The cupboard's there. Holly doesn't like too spicy, so we'll lightly season hers. And they are prepped and ready to go into the pan. Alright, so we got our oil nice and hot. I want the oil to be hot so we can get a nice crisp outside layer on the fish. I'm putting in the thicker pieces first because it'll take longer for them to cook. And you're supposed to lay the fish away from you so as the hot oil doesn't splash onto you. Fish doesn't take very long to cook. If you come to this side, you can see here on the bottom how the white is starting right there. You see how it's all translucent? Starting to get all the aromas going, all the good smells. Cooking nicely, as you can see how it's flaking right there. I ain't got too much longer on these. Scoopers are done. So we're going to take it and lay it right on top of our bed of peppers and onions. Right there. And that is our grouper sandwich. The way that we could tell that these were done, I took my thicker piece, or the thickest piece that I had, and I can break it up. And if you look, you can see how it's completely white, not translucent. And that's how you know that your fish is ready to be pulled off. Now it's time for the taste test. All right. Little right there. And that is our grouper sandwich. The way that we could tell that these were done, I took my thicker piece, or the thickest piece that I had, and I can break it up. And if you look, you can see how it's completely white, not translucent. And that's how you know that your fish is ready to be pulled off. Now it's time for the taste test. Sandwich. Cheers. I like it.
I like it too.
I think it's pretty good. The rolls are a little crisp on the inside, not too soggy. I like the bell pepper flavor on it. And the fish is cooked perfectly.
Tastes like chicken a lot.
Just got to figure out a good sauce that would go on this.
Alright, well I think that's it for this video. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope you learned something new. This is a very monumental moment for me, because this is my first grouper, and now I get to eat it. So, appreciate you all, and we'll see you in our next video.